Do the New York Jets have a quarterback? No. But if you appreciate the latest reports on the subject, a thumbs up is an easy way to show it. This one coming from Adam Schefter today. He believes that Aaron Rodgers will most likely retire or be traded this offseason. And if he is traded, Schefter cites the Jets as the most likely landing spot. Now, we know that Aaron Rodgers said that guys like Schefter and Ian Rappaport have no idea what he's thinking. He's not tied into their inner circle. But that doesn't mean that NFL sources don't have some intel on what the Green Bay Packers are thinking, and it seems like they believe the Green Bay Packers are willing to move on from the 38-year-old, get some draft compensation back, and build around Jordan Love, who could be their quarterback of the future. Now, on the retirement front, I'll never rule out anything from Aaron Rodgers. He goes to the beat of his own drum, but Aaron Rodgers has earned $300 million in his career, and he's got 110 left on the table. So a third of his career earnings to date for 2 more years. I don't know if anyone's passing on that kind of money. So I think he plays. And if he does play, Adam Schefter thinks the Jets are the most likely team. Shifting over to Derek Carr, Jeremy Fowler saying that the Saints are all in, trying to make a final push to sign the free agent quarterback. Saints and Jets seem to be the 2 favorites, 2 teams that have visited with him multiple times. He has a visit with Carolina coming up on Monday. The Panthers seem to be a distant 3rd team because they're already in talks to re-sign Sam Darnold. And obviously they have that top 10 pick, which they could draft a quarterback to develop. Jets or Saints? Interesting. The Jets, I think, have a roster that is overall in better shape than the Saints, but the Saints play in the worst division in football, and they play in a dome. They have lower taxes. We'll see. We'll see how good the sales pitch was from JD and Robert Saleh. But from everything we've heard from the end of the season till this whole thing started, till now, Aaron Rodgers is plan A and Derek Carr is plan B. It's no slight to Derek Carr. In majority of off seasons, Derek Carr would be a plan A level quarterback, but Aaron Rodgers has been plan A. And I think it's been lost on this fan base why Aaron Rodgers is plan A. The man has 2 out of the last 3 MVP trophies. Arguably, he's the 3rd best quarterback I've watched with my eyes. Derek Carr was the 3rd best quarterback in his division last year. I like Derek Carr. If he's the Jets quarterback, that's something to celebrate. But there are levels to this, and Aaron Rodgers is on a different level. And that is why, if you think he's a diva and it's not worth it and it's a waste of time, then you got to take that up with JD and Saleh. Because he's plan A. He's been plan A this whole time. Now, what could you accomplish with either of these quarterbacks? That's been a fascinating debate. This guy can get you this guy can get you this far. Our whole team isn't even ready for that conversation. Well, let's start there. Yeah, there are some unknowns to this Jets roster. I don't know for sure who's going to be our starting tackle at either spot. I don't even know if we have a good coaching staff. I hope we do. We'll see. They're unproven, right? But if you had to rank this coaching staff in the AFC East, just within a division, where do they rank? 1 through 4. Answer that to yourself. You're probably not going to like the answer. However, I would also argue that there's some unknowns to this team that could be positive. I think there's some hidden talent and hidden production, particularly on offense, that was held back by offensive line injuries, offensive coordinator, and quarterback ineptitude last year. Garrett Wilson, 1,100 yards of bottom 5 quarterback play. Could he be a top 5 receiver with an above average quarterback? We don't know. Elijah Moore, could he exist? CJ Uzomah, could he be Bengals CJ Uzomah? Denzel Mims, can he catch a touchdown with a better quarterback? Tyler Conklin was 10th among all tight ends last year in receptions. Could he be top 6 with a quarterback? Why not? There's some hidden talent on this Jets offense. There's some unknowns on the coaching staff. So I don't know. I don't know if we're a Super Bowl contender with either quarterback, but what I know and what Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh know is that your chances of winning the whole damn thing, which eventually has to be the goal, and Joe Douglas got hired, 4 or 5 years ago? It's got to be the goal sometime soon, and that goal is way more achievable when you have elite talent at the most important position in sports. Everybody knows it. Ain't a hot take. We know it. 17 of the last 21 Super Bowl trophies have been hoisted by quarterbacks who are going to the Hall of Fame. Aaron Rodgers is getting a jacket the moment 5 years after he retires. That's what's going on. So yeah, I could look at, we need a safety. I understand, but your chances are exponentially higher when you have elite play at the most important position. Not a hot take, never been. Now, there is the draft compensation difference between Carr and Rodgers. Well, you need that pick to take a tackle. Yeah, I'd like that, all things being perfect. I'll also remind you that Aaron Rodgers won MVP when his all-pro tackle missed the whole season. But there's also the factor of money. If you sign Derek Carr and it's somewhere near $40 million, if Daniel Jones is about to get $40+ million, my goodness. Well, Aaron Rodgers' cap hit year 1 for the Jets is $15 million for an acquiring team. That could allow you to sign that player that you might have drafted. It doesn't make up for the whole thing because it'd probably be multiple picks, and then that player would be on a rookie contract for many years. It doesn't make it completely equal, but I think that is a factor that's being left out. Oh, you sign Carr for nothing, keep the picks. Yes, but there's also the financial considerations, at least in the short term, some dead money on the back end with Rodgers that you have to factor in. But with Derek Carr, what could you accomplish with Derek Carr? I think there's been like two polar opinions on Carr. The first opinion is he's trash. He hasn't won anything in a decade. Why is he going to come here and win? I think that's short-sighted because during that decade, he's had on average the 26th rated defense in the NFL. If you plan on having the 26th rated defense in the NFL, you're probably not going to go very far unless you have a Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. And even he has never won, none of his Super Bowls have come with a defense that bad. Neither has Tom Brady's. So why do I care about that? Why do I care what Derek Carr has accomplished with a 26 rated defense? I know this about Derek Carr. When Derek Carr's defense has performed average or better, allowing 24 points or less since his second year to last year, he is 31-15. So I think he could be a guy who can win you some games. So I reject the assertion that he's never won anything, so he can't win anything. I don't agree with that. Now, there's the other take that I think might be a little bit too green-tinted glasses, which is he's Matt Stafford, right? Matt Stafford doesn't win a lot, comes to the Rams, boom, Super Bowl. Well, yes. Now, I would remind us that that team already went to a Super Bowl, that Sean McVay-led Rams, and they play in a weaker conference. They had 2 Hall of Fame pass rushers, a 2,000-yard receiver. Not exactly apples to apples, but could have a similar career arc, a guy who hasn't won much and can do some winning in better circumstances. And I think a better comparison for Carr that lies in the middle of those two, as the truth so often does, could be what the Tennessee Titans acquired right after signing Ryan Tannehill, right? They get Ryan Tannehill for 4 years. So if the Jets signed Derek Carr for 4 years and it looks like what the Titans got with Ryan Tannehill, what would that look like? I think it's a pretty good comp. Ryan Tannehill to Derek Carr, most of their career, they've been in the same tier. Carr is better now because he's younger. Robert Saleh, could he turn into Mike Vrabel? Is that a good coaching comp? I think so. They had Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown. We have Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson. We probably have a better defense than they did. They played in the worst division. Pretty close, right? And in those 4 years, the Tennessee Titans made the playoffs 3 out of the 4 years. And their best season was they went to a conference championship and lost on the road to Kansas City to the eventual AFC champions, and lost to the greatest quarterback and the best coach currently playing in one of the toughest places to play. Right? And you might say, loser's mentality, what's the point? You have to win it all. Well, I'm just telling you what's likely. I'm just living in reality. And personally, I think that would be awesome. I think it would be awesome to make the playoffs 3 out of 4 years and make it to a damn conference championship, because look at the fondness that we talk about the Rex Ryan, Mark Sanchez years with. The glory days. And it's been 5-6 years of just garbage. Absolute garbage. I would absolutely take that if I were the New York Jets. And I think that's what you could get with Derek Carr. I think it's a realistic expectation. Somewhere in between, he can never win, he's just trash, to instant Super Bowl when both he and the Jets combined the last decade have not won a single playoff game. Going to go right to Super Bowl? I don't know about that. But they always have to suck because they've always sucked. I don't know about that. Right in the middle, probably a Ryan Tannehill Titans run. And those Titans teams have accomplished what? The third most out of any team in the conference the last 4 years. It's the Chiefs, the Bengals, and they've been right on par with the Bills. That's what the Bills have done. The Bills have done that with a top 5 quarterback and a top 5 defense the last 4 years. And we would accomplish that same amount, and we're going to say that's a loser's mentality? I don't think so. That's why I'd be fine with either quarterback. But do not mistake, the reason why Rodgers is plan A is because if you really want to win the whole damn thing, there's one number to call. If that's your goal. There's one number to call. Other goals, stability, longevity. You like Derek Carr's personality better? Okay. I'm fine with Carr. There's a reason Joe Douglas wants Aaron Rodgers. So the way I see it, I put together 2 mock off seasons with Carr and with Rodgers. They're down there somewhere below if you want to check those out. Talk ball soon.